back to Navigate Your Wealth. We were talking about Social Security, and I have a question. A lot of people want to know, if I did turn it on, what is the break-even point?
Yeah. You know, if you waited to turn on your Social Security, you would have waited 8 years. The break-even point is typically, when we do the math, somewhere between 7 and 8 additional years. So that means that if you wait to turn on your Social Security, you actually have 16 years until you feel the advantage that you were trying to give yourself by waiting. So it's kind of shocking to me, because most people think, well, if I just wait, it'll be better.
And it's not just waiting, it's working. I'm going to work, right?
Right.
I'm going to get up every day for 5 more years, even though I'm almost, 68, to make this. But you're saying that maybe there's not that big advantage.
Well, here's the thing. There's just different ways to look at it, right?
Okay.
So if you have a situation where Social Security is going to be the bulk of your retirement, then this is a whole different conversation.
Right. Gotcha.
The conversation that we're having right now really relates to those people who probably didn't want the Social Security anyway. And we tell them, you paid into it, you take it.
It's
I'll
yours.
help you figure out a good way to multiply, the value of that. And so we're going to talk about, and I keep teasing on this, but we're going to get to that in just a moment. But I want to bring up another point. For the couples, if you defer, when the first spouse dies, a lot of people don't really understand this, but when the first spouse dies, one of those checks is going away. Now, the good news is it's going to be the smaller of the two. So Bob and Mary have, 2 checks. One's $1,500, one's $2,700.
Okay.
When the first one goes, it doesn't matter if it's Bob or Mary. The $1,500 check is going away.
That's wonderful.
Well, it's not wonderful,
It's
because
not?
Bob didn't eat that much.
Now all of a sudden your income is reduced.
So Mary's going to get the
I thought
bigger
you meant
check.
she gets the bigger check.
She does, but she loses the smaller check, and he's gone. He didn't eat that much. Anyway.
Oh, I see what you mean. Because she has the same house, the same car, the same power bill.
Her expenses are still there.
And he passes away. And what happens the next year when she files her taxes?
Different bracket?
She's filing as a single tax filer now, not married couple filing jointly.
And so typically a single filer with the same income would be in a higher bracket. You're exactly right.
So we call that
Yikes.
sometimes the widower's pension penalty.
Penalty, gotcha.
Penalty.
All right, you teased in the last block about Social Security options. I write down everything, so tell me, and we got 4 minutes. What are those options you mentioned, Karen?
Okay, so we have a client. He said, I don't need my Social Security, I don't want my Social Security, and I'm still working. The good news was he was at full retirement age. Everybody has their own special number. I'm 66.6 for your full retirement age. And what that means is that when you hit that age, you can still work and collect your Social Security.
Okay, great.
Okay. So this individual still wanted to work, didn't need their Social Security. I said, we're going to turn it on because you're going to get to keep it. What am I going to do with it? We're going to use that Social Security income to do some Roth conversions.
Fantastic.
So what? We're going to use it to do some Roth conversions. The reason you don't want to convert your IRA into a Roth is because it's taxable.
Okay.
How about if we use that Social Security check and let the government pay your taxes on that Roth conversion?
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic.
He loved it. He loved it. So every year we're using that Social Security. We're calculating exactly how much that Social Security after tax will convert of the IRA. And here's the best part. Once that IRA is in the Roth, tell them what happens.
Then it's 100% yours, and it's 100% tax-free.
Wonderful.
It can grow without having to worry about what any of the taxes are.
No RMDs.
And that is an asset that can go to your beneficiaries or to your heirs or to your family. The Social Security cannot be left to your children. It can't be left to a charity of your choice. So we want to make sure that you're collecting all of the dollars that you can.
That's brilliant.
And then making sure that the assets that can leave a legacy
That is
are
brilliant.
designed to do so.
You take that money, it's not going to be taxed later as it grows, and you can use it as you want and leave it. That's amazing. Do a lot of people talk about legacy planning? Is that something also that you all offer?
You know, for 40 years, that has always been a high point of my planning. And unfortunately, doing estate planning for most people is on the back burner. One, because it's so expensive. Mostly because in the younger set, they can't figure out who to be the guardian of their children. Crazy as it sounds, they just can't figure out who to choose as the guardian for their children. So they put it off. But really, it's a cost factor. And because this has been such a significant part of our planning, we have collaborated with an organization called Legacy Lock. And we can do an entire estate plan, which includes the wills, the trust, the power of attorney, the healthcare directives, everything.
Wonderful.
For a very, very nominal amount of money, fraction of what they normally would pay out in the world today. So it's important.
That's wonderful. I know your big goal is to let everyone sleep like a baby at night, not worry about what they see in the news. I think legacy planning, imagine, I mean, I had a friend, she had 2 sisters. Their mom died unexpectedly, and they literally don't even speak anymore. It went to probate, which means a year before they got their money, it was minimized because they paid lawyers in courts.
Right.
How, I mean, to me, I cannot reiterate enough, when a tragedy happens, all they have to do is pick up a phone and call Sam or Karen.
Absolutely.
They don't have to call this and this and this and the bills and the, just touch on the power of that alone.
Well, I mean, I think that that's the confidence that we want you to have in your plan, right? It's that we are just a phone call away, and there is a legacy strategy at Compass Financial. That's why I got into this industry. I mean, when Mom and I started working together, she told me that in 3 to 5 years, she was going to
My exit strategy.
retire. And here we are 10 years later. She hasn't gone anywhere, and she's not going anywhere. But our
Not by choice.
Yeah, you look amazing, by the way. I need to eat what you're eating, but anyway.
Our clients know that if anything happens, all they have to do is pick up the phone. And for as long as 42 years in the industry, we have clients that have been with us for 42 years.
And we have you for another 42 years.
Exactly. You're going to get another 42 years.
Well, we're already out of time. I'm sorry, Sam. Let's just give that number and tell our friends thank you for joining us and what they expect when they call.
Listen, thank you so much for joining us today. We want to help you build your retirement roadmap so that you have the confidence to retire successfully. Pick up the phone now and call the number on your screen, 855-348-3073.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you so much.
It was very informational and enjoyable. We'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining us.